Storytelling Ron, how's it going? This is DM Tips 4, Part B. I did want to finish up the 10 towns, first 4 towns that I'm working on in the beginning of Rime the Frostmaiden. So let's get into it again. So here's the 4 towns. So again, I want to explain to you that this is how I'm DMing Frostmaiden, Rime the Frostmaiden. I am changing a lot of it, but that's the joy of doing this, right? That's the big part of being a DM is the joy of preparing stuff the way you want to do it. So that's kind of what I'm teaching in these. And I love Wizards of the Coast and what they publish, and it's like they set out the groundwork, and then we all get to do what we want with it, right? And so that's what my videos are about. They're not about like adhering to the material. It's about taking the material. What do you like? Use it. What is like? Take it out. Don't question that you can take something out and change it to what you want. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to emphasize. Taking their material, taking my material, but then doing, throwing it all aside and doing what you want to do. I guess I'm just trying to teach you a method here. And so that's why I'm just going through my method. And so hopefully this will be helpful for you in that sense. And again, like I've seen a lot of people do the live play and they've never, adhered to the material. Everyone's doing their own thing, which is great. And that's what I'm trying to express, especially for you new DMs. Read it, look at it. If you like it, do it. If you unsure, change it, or something. And use some of your favorite books or movies that you like. And, there are things. And again, I do use tropes, nothing original. So here we go. How it's progressing. If you watch my live play, I'm doing Rime of Frostmaiden. We're up to chapter 2 now. We're doing chapter 3 today. But they're still over here. And again, I'm trying to pretend like it's roll 20 and click on this. But they're right in this area. It's pretty cool. They got some stuff now. Now, in the previous, obviously, I talked about Targos and this human sacrifice and all that. At some point, then I want to get them over to Tourmaline and Lonelywood because I really like the dynamics here. They got a boat, so they could even take the keel boat and sail over here. And one of the guys knows how to handle a boat, so that's cool. So they can go over to Tourmaline and do the gem mine with the Grail, which I really like. And I want to bring it. I'm trying to figure out again. You as a DM have to figure out how to draw them to each location, but with emotional to me, it's more about emotional draw. We got to go save them. We got to go help them. We got to go do something. It's like that. I don't really want it to be. I don't particularly care for you go to the tavern and you hear about a rumor. I want it to be something that they're really compelled to do. Now, I'm not taking away from that because that's fun too. If you especially if you want to do like a fun adventure, where you just hear rumors and you get to pick and decide. I'm trying to, I guess for this, I'm setting it up as more of, like The Thing, where it's a horror and you're being compelled and everyone's in a desperate situation. To me, this is a suicidal, everyone is, there's no relief in sight. I mean, think about it. If it's winter for 2 years, that means there's no food, everything's running low. Everyone's getting desperate, including the animals. So that's why that's kind of why I'm trying to draw them in with fear and horror and desperate people. Because like in the live play, they're totally desperate to get the knucklehead trout back to Bremen to feed him, and that was cool. That we got to get him back. But I did remind them that the people there are not starving right now, but they will. You don't have to hurry up because that was kind of messing up to me their story. So that but again, it was great that they wanted to get back to Bremen and feed him because that was the draw. That was we got to do this. And I just wanted to make it clear to them that in the previous session, because I don't expect them to remember week to week, but in the previous session, they weren't people weren't starving right then. They were all very scared though because they were going to run out of food at some point because they weren't getting food back, and they only had a bit of grain, and now they couldn't do the fishing. So I slowed them down so that they could enjoy the adventure without having to hurriedly go back. I wanted them to stay there and do some more stuff. I mean, I knew they could come back, but anyway. But it's just a pacing thing and wanting them to do that. So Tourmaline and Lonelywood. So I'm assuming, okay, how do I get them to Tourmaline? Because they're going to do Targos, I think. They're going to deal with the human sacrifice and the Frost Druid. Let me just show you that real quick. I fleshed that out some. I didn't have it ready in the last one. So I have created here, make sure you can see everything. I've created here a list of Frost Maidens. So I'm using the Frost Druids, the Frost Maidens of Aurel. I know she's Aurel the Frost Maiden, but I'm going to go ahead and call them Frost Maidens anyway. Because it just sounds kind of cool. But the Frost Druid, I'm starting off with like a low-level Frost Druid. That's the one that's in Targos. Because I really want that build-up, like that they realize, there's these Frost Druids affecting everything, which is kind of what it says in the material. And And since they say, and look, everything I'm doing is based off of the material, but me extrapolating that, right? I'm not trying to do something completely out. I'm trying to get what they're saying with their I feel like, you know, and I'm not trying to insult this because maybe you guys, I mean, Harry Potter, everyone loves Harry Potter, so there, I feel like the Rime of the Frostmaiden, the way they wrote it was kind of Harry Potterish, and the, you know, things are inconvenient and PG-ish, and you guys, you know, deal with things. Whereas I'm trying to get it to kind of, you know, a little darker, a little scarier, and so that's why I'm looking for the scariest components in the book, and then extrapolating on that, and then taking out the things that I feel are a little fluffy. So. And that's just my style. You know, you guys, whoever you're listening to, you might like the Harry Potter style and want everything to be fun. And that's that's probably even a better idea. I'm just telling you what my process is. So, there's this Frost Druid, and I made her kind of lower level, just a couple spells: Fog Cloud, Cold Beam. She's going to do a little Cold Beam thing. It's kind of like Moonbeam, but I'm changing it a little because I figure Auril can, you know, like I said in my 357, where spells don't always have to be exactly. I change spells up. I modify them to sort of like that inner native powers. You know, like the spells in the player's handbook to me are what everyone in the academia know about and have categorized. But you gotta, you know, but there's gotta, you know, obviously there's going to be a ton of little spells all over the place that are different, little curses, little things, you know, that you can do. So Auril is going to be giving them and the creatures kind of unique little, simple but unique little, you know, attack spells or whatever. And so one here is Cold Beam, which is the Moonbeam, but it's just cold. And she has her Icicle. She's also going to have a Cold Light Dog. So a dog that's a little possessed and can do a blinding light, you know, at them. And then it has a bite with a little bit of a cold on it. So that's like a little low level thing. So they'll have to deal with that. Because they're only first level. They might be second level when they encounter her. I'm not sure, but pretty low. And then I got the next one, Frost Druid Asher, a little more powerful, a little more stuff going on here. Just a little more hit points. I think it's probably, you know, I may or may not even use her. I might jump right to Ravison when they go to Lonelywood if they get there. I also decided the White Moose, I'm going to give it, depending, I brought the hit points down to 48 from 68. And I brought down the damage, the charge a little bit. Because I just feel like that's a lot. 2d8, it was a 2d8 up here. And I just, it was a bit, it's going to kill like a first or second level. Depending on, if they're third level, I might bring it up. Because think of a brown, I looked up a brown bear and it's only got 42 hit points, and the damage, it does less damage than the moose. And I would think they're comparable, you know, in real life, the brown bear and the white moose, as far as the initial damage of something. I would think the brown bear is more dangerous in the long run, like if you last longer or whatever. But I wanted to bring it down a notch, and I have a brown bear here, and I also have the winter wolf up here because the winter wolf is going to be the top echelon with its cold breath. And to me, I think the druids can summon or manipulate them, even though they're a CR3. CR3 here, because I know that. But I'm gonna waive that fee and let them, if the Ravison, when she summons, she's gonna summon obviously something to help her, and if they encounter her in Lonelywood at the Elven Ruins. So I'm definitely going to let her summon either brown bear or winter wolf. Something really scary and big that they got to fight too. So that'll be a lot. I think that's going to be fun. Or I'll have a brown bear just haunt them in the woods. I'm going to have the moose haunt them in the woods and then maybe try to get away. I don't want too many things though in the Lonely Woods, because I know in Lonely Woods, you know, when you go looking around, you're going to be, the white moose is supposed to haunt you. I really want it to be haunting too. So I also gave it a freeze mist. It's kind of like a fog cloud, 30-foot radius, DC 12 con. If they fail, they're fearful, they're blinded, and they can only attack with a react at disadvantage. So like if the moose comes by, then they can swing at it, but at disadvantage. If they succeed, they can see it in the mist. I see you, and charge after it, but at disadvantage, and maybe gets away. So that I want it to be scary like that. So I'm going to do that with the white moose, and once it gets down to a certain amount of hit points, I'll probably have it go back and to the Elven Rune, and they can deal with that. The white moose there with the druid, and then maybe she summons a brown bear or a winter wolf or something, I think brown bear would be cool because that's kind of like winter wolf is the next one up. I think brown bear would be scary. She summons some kind of brown, coming out of the mist with a blowing, she calls her, you know what I mean? This bear, come, oh my god, so that's gonna be another scary. I think that'd be great for this first trio of frost druids. Okay, so that they're gonna experience that up here in Lonelywood. Now, how do I draw them again from Targos to Tourmaline to Lonelywood? Because I really want them to go to this areas. Now, if they want to go somewhere else, fine. I don't have anything prepared though, so whatever. But I think I'll draw them. I'm pretty experienced at this point where I think I can draw people, compel them to go to a certain area. So here's Tourmaline. Tourmaline is, what is their issues? Their issues are the gem mine, and I might have the lost sled, but I think the lost sled, I really want him to go to the gem mine. Now here's the problem too, because that's where the mind flayer is with the psi crystal. Sorry, I always have like a nose tickles and stuff. The gem, the Grell in the gem mine, and so there's that issue. I want some of Targos, the other town, their bullies to come up to Tourmaline and sort of harass them, maybe with a frost druid, like they're trying to get them to sacrifice humans up there. So I kind of want that, and this is, I know I'm kind of changing the story quite a bit from the material, but this is the way I am. Okay, so Greg, the one-eyed brute, I'm going to have him supposedly be around town with a frost druid, trying to get everyone to sacrifice humans and cause some problems. So because I think they're going to be compelled. Now, where is Greg? Well, they haven't seen him in a while. They've lost. Okay, also they've lost the mine. People are afraid. They can't go mining anymore. People have died. I've taken out the kobolds, and I'll tell you why. Because I'll just tell you now. I feel like the kobolds in it are more Harry Potter, and not. I'm not against that. I'm just saying I want it to be more dark. And I recently did that exact same thing, the kobold kind of friendship thing in Tomb of Annihilation with they went and fought the red dragon, down the young adult red dragon. I forgot the name. Down in the south with the mine, and they beat it, and then they sort of befriended the kobolds, and so now the kobolds are in that mine, and they're going to help the dwarves, mine the mine. So, and it was fun. It was fun. It was a good, so if you want to keep the kobolds in there and do that, that's fine. I want to get it to be very dark and scary though. I don't want them to go into the mine and then let's befriend these guys. And then there's a Grell, which is a horror. So that's two, you know what I mean? When you have a location, you kind of just want it to be one cool thing that they have to deal with. And it's not just one, it's going to continue because it's the Grell plus the Mind Flayer fossil and the Psi Crystal and then the guy's revelation. So there's enough there for me. I don't need the whole Kobold thing to kind of add, to change the like in another example in Storm King's Thunder in the Frost Giants Lodge, they had some methods, up top. And methods are what? They harass, right? They throw things or whatever. And I don't like using methods because even in the Frost Giant or Rime the Frostmaiden, I'm not going to use any methods. I don't like methods. Here's why. When they went into the Frost Giant Lodge, I wanted them to feel the lodge, the giants, the size, the description. I wanted the snow and the giant tables and the giant this and giant that. Oh, by the way, there's a method there and it's harassing you, throwing snowballs at you. That ruins the whole. You know what I mean? So that's why I take out that stuff. I want there to be one thing that they focus on. I don't want to throw like methods on them. Oh, we got to deal with those methods. And then they're never going to experience then, this giant lodge, so that's why so that's the kind of the thought process with the mine. And so here, I have zombies and they're going to have, these are the miners. They got killed by the Grell, and the Grell planted in them a little larva beak creature with tentacles that's feeding on the brain and growing the brain again and turning it into a Grell. And it's in the brain and it's controlling the zombie as it's feeding off the body. See? And that's scary. And then they're running around the mine or lumbering around the mine. So that's going to be scary. It's horror, and then they got to deal with that. Get this out of the way. And the mine, the one thing I really appreciate in this around the Frostmaiden is how they made all the dungeons very kind of one night adventures. They're very small maps, so that's really cool. I mean, among other things. But so that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to have Greg, the one-eyed brute, plus his little crew, or whatever, the survivors. They're down at the very bottom, in the finale area. They're shacked up there, holed up, fighting off or keeping the zombies from coming in. And of course, they're slowly starving and dying. So I'm hoping that the party saves them and makes a deal with them to leave Tourmaline alone and all that. And then the gnome is going to find the Mind Flayer skull with a side crystal, and then his backstory is going to light up because he's the sci-fi gnome that he doesn't know that he came from the Ascendant, So there's a problem I have now, because how am I going to get him? He's going to want to go follow this voice, whereas they haven't gone to Lonelywood yet. So I definitely want to, before they do the gem mine, I want the speaker from either the speaker from Lonelywood or someone from Lonelywood comes down to Tourmaline telling them their desperate situation. So I'm definitely going to have them encounter both situations at the same time, so they can then decide, maybe they want to go to Lonelywood first, or maybe they want to go to the gem mine first. Maybe the Tourmaline people say we really need wood from Targos from Lonelywood, and Lonelywood is like, we can't harvest wood because we're being haunted by cold light beasts, a big moose. They say some creature in there with horns, I'm gonna say demonic creature with horns has been attacking them and hunt. I'm gonna say it like that. I'm not gonna say moose. I don't want to say moose because moose is like a moose. I mean, I know moose is dangerous, but the word moose is goofy. So I'm going to say some beast with horns has been attacking him in the forest and taking him down. Because the people, the few old guys that are chopping wood, they can't really see the moose that well, especially when it does its mist and it's always in the dark. They don't even I don't think they even want to say it's a moose, because people are like, well, it's just a moose. I think they want to say it's a demon with horns. They don't want to call it a moose. I think even if they saw it as a moose, I think they would just say it's a demon with horns. So I'm going to do something like that. So I'll either have to draw them up there and then to the mine, and then come back to the mine, maybe come back with a delivery of wood and then to the mine. That might be kind of a good way to do that. Especially since Lonelywood, the draw on Lonelywood is that it's got the old retired assassin spies and all that. So I'm going to make it so that they have gold and they have, those kind of resources to pay them off, even though they don't have, they have gold. Even though no one's going to buy anything with that much gold, but they might still be able to do it in Bridgechandra, I would say. Or in Targos. Targos has the dwarf that will willingly sell them something for like 100 gold, or so that's see. So if they go to Targos and they ever talk to that guy, the dwarf that sells stuff, then they know if they go to Lonelywood and do that job there, find out what's going on with all these cold light creatures. The cold light creatures. There we go. Instead of walkers or whatever, cold light creatures. I'll try that. To see if they get gold from him, and then they go back and buy stuff from the dwarf. Because there's not a lot of gold in this. Supposed to be a lot of gold in this world. This is the much cooler Bridgechandra map, by the way, from Storm King's Thunder. And if you have Roll20, this is where I got it from. I just captured it off of Roll20, where I bought it. Where I bought it, and I just used it for Roll20 basically, and then for this. So I think, I don't know, is that it? I've already discussed the boat dock area on the previous one. I'll show you the map, just some quick maps here. I did make this. I did in Photoshop, just using like layer effects, with the textures and the bumps and stuff. And I'm going to use this. And I darkened it so it looks like a night type of thing, this forest. That's going to use this for Lonelywood. And I think I have a lake one here. Okay, so this is my generic little lake maps. I'm going to make maybe a few of these. And this I'm going to use for when they're going along the lake, maybe on a sled or whatever, or traveling, if they ever do that. And I made like a little location here, like in case they want. Maybe I can add a little something there. I don't know. Maybe a little treasure, a little walrus, like maybe an angry walrus kind of thing, And then down here as well, you see a little rock area. Down there, a little rock area here. That one I could do like a little walrus seal that comes in and out, angry, possessed maybe, and then this top one, some kind of, I don't know, ice method. I don't know, troll, little goblin, something. I haven't really decided. These are the I'm using these in little roll 20 little tokens, little raft, boat, sled, and my keel boat that they're using. I'll show you real quick. And so this is where they're at right now. They killed the monster, and I didn't make it talk. I wanted to make it scary, just scary and frightening. And although they didn't kill it, it's captured, but I think it's going to die because it's all in their net. You know, it's all tangled. It rolled a 1, a 2, and I think at some point I rolled another 1 for getting out of for escaping the harpoon and net. Man, so it's it's choking to death. But they pulled it up, and now they got this keelboat. They got this creature. Oh, I ruined the live play, so you can't watch it now. Just watch it. It's fun. I like it. I think it's going really well. And as you see, I'm using the advanced lighting there so that they can't see the whole map that I created for them. Let me just turn it off. Now you can see it. And I made as you see up here, I made little locations that they can go check out. They're actual. But Control L. Oh, this guy don't have no light. Okay, I gotta fix this. This guy does not have a light source. Which, yeah, no, this is. Oh, that's the non-player. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's the guy they captured. So that's that's one of the players. That's his light. That's what he sees. That's what he sees. And that's the boat. Okay. So that's my final for the first 4 towns. You know, as far as just telling you kind of what my thought process is for the first 4 towns. The Elven Ruin, I'm gonna keep it pretty much the way it is. I think it's cool the way it is. I'll probably take out the little awakened creatures. I might not do the moonbeam because they don't have a druid. The moon, so you could just maybe any light source, you know, maybe any magical source like a radiant will turn it on as well. I'll probably do that so they could get into those places and look at the place. And they're going to get a mummy, which that's the elven mummy. So I think that's okay. You know, it only has like 60 hit points or something, so it should die relatively quickly. But yeah, that's kind of cool. It's kind of like a one use, you know, a limited use magic item basically. So I don't even have a token. I gotta draw something. Oh, I know I do have a token for that. I can put it in there. So I think the mummy's kind of cool. We'll do that, but you know, give them some information. Although it's only ancient information, it might give them information on the Lost City. Just kind of vague stuff, just to get that going. Ooh, that might be cool there. But just it knows a little bit about it. Once there was a great city floating above here, you know, kind of thing. Or once there was a great city floating above here. Anyway, so that's it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. The Lost Sled thing is going to be between Tourmaline and Bridgechandra. That I could do if I feel like they finish these 4 towns, then I can draw them in that direction with the Lost Sled thing. And that might be a good way to do that. The Foaming Mugs one where they find the Lost Sled and the goblins. So I'm using the material, but in a jigsaw puzzle kind of way for me to draw relationships between everything that will draw them to go forth, you know, and do these things. So, okay, so that's it for this one. I hope this was helpful, gave you some ideas, or just make you figure out a thought process for you. And this is one of the funnest parts for me of DMing is having fun putting together my, you know, the way I want things to play out and compel the players to create a really exciting adventure for them. And the more you know where they're going to go, the more you have you keep adding ideas to that encounter. And that's why I like doing it this way. If I do it more randomly, it's a little harder to really, add depth to things like that in your mental sort of ability to act out the characters. Unless you're good at that, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm not trying to criticize anyone's way of doing things. I'm just trying to tell you how I do it, and it could help you guys and give you some more ideas on what way you want to do it. And that's it. I hope this was again just helpful and enjoy doing what you want to do as a DM in D&D. All right.